Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be getting ready and playing with some new makeup. I am playing with this guy here, this Sephora Pro palette in the shade Nudes. I picked this up over the weekend and I am loving this eyeshadow palette, you guys. First, the color selection is so beautiful. You get 28 shades. They look pretty warm. You do get a mixture of shimmer and matte shades. The quality of this palette is just phenomenal, you guys. They have a couple of other shade varieties that I'm thinking about going to pick up. It was between this one and another one, and I went with this one, but I'm kind of thinking I might go back for the other. I have the 20% off friends and family coupon, so I think I might do that this week before that expires. This video is in partnership with Ness. They sent me the most generous care package the other week, and I've been playing with all the product, and I've got some favorites that I can't wait to share with you guys, so thank you so much, Ness. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, it's time to tame this mane. My hair is has got extra humidity in it. I worked out this morning, so it kind of got a little sweaty, and then it just blow dried the sweat out. And it's pretty humid outside. So I already have a foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush. I had to drop Kate off at school this morning, and I like to put a little something on before I leave the house. But I have a lot of products here in front of me, some that I picked up from Sephora, and some products that Ness sent me, so I am so excited to dive in and play. So I'm going to start by priming my eyes, and for that I'm going to use the Ness eye primer. It's actually like a 4-in-1 product. I think it's called the Secret Sexy Eye Primer. You can use this as a brightener or a concealer or a primer. Since I already have concealer on, I think I'm good, although I do feel like I could use a little bit more brightness. So we're going to apply this on the eyelid and then under the eye. I actually have been using this product for about the last week since I received this shipment. I've been playing with it, and I really do like it for a primer. So I'm just going to kind of put it right under the eye. It does dry to like a powder-like finish, and I did notice that it dried pretty quickly. So actually, I probably should have done just one area at a time because it kind of dries a little quickly, so you kind of work with it. So I was just thinking the other day, this kind of reminds me of a perfect blend between like, I don't know, like the transparent eye primers that you use and like a MAC paint pots in soft ochre. You know how like MAC paint pot and soft ochre is a thick cream eyeshadow, but it does what this is doing, which is like brighten and cancel out any color, but it's very thick. And then the transparent eye primers are much thinner in consistency, but they don't really do anything as far as brightening the lid or concealing any like veins or darkness on the eyelid. I feel like this is a good combination of those two types of primers because it is going to brighten and cancel out any darkness that you have on the lid, but it's also nice and thinner consistency than like the paint pot. So I really like that. It's kind of the best of both. You know, if you think about those two types of eye primers, this product kind of combines it in one product. And I did put it under the eye, and that's actually the first time that I've used it as concealer under the eye, and it looks really nice. It just kind of brightened up that area. Okay, I feel like I need a powder. I'm a little shiny, so I'm going to take the Skin Clone Mineral Powder Foundation in the shade Vienna. This is by Ness. It comes with a sponge like so, and then this is what it looks like when you open it up. So this is where the sponge sits. I'm going to use a brush to apply it because I just want to basically I already have foundation on, so I don't necessarily need a lot of coverage. I just want to kind of mattify the skin. So I'm just going to take this and dust it in the center of my face. All right, so for eyes, I'm going to play with a new palette that I picked up this weekend in Vegas. It is the Sephora Nudes palette, and I still have it in the box. Whenever I buy new makeup, I can't really throw the boxes right away for some reason. I like hold on to them for, I don't know, a week or two, and I use the product, and then I put it back in the box, and then eventually I just say, why am I doing this? And I throw away the box. But this is what the palette looks like. This palette retails for, I think, $68 or $69. I did have the 20% off friends and family code at Sephora, so I got 20% off of this, but even at $68, which is kind of a high price point, it's a beautiful, very, very large palette. I mean, how many shades do you get in here? You get 28 shades, you guys, and you get this big, huge mirror. It has a huge mirror on it. You do get a nice range of shades and nice range of textures, mattes, and shimmers. It's clearly a very warm palette when you look at it off the bat, but I just thought it was really beautiful. Sephora Pro palettes have a couple of other variations of colors, and there was another one that I really liked, but I decided to go with this one. I might end up getting the other one because the quality of these shadows, you guys, I've been so impressed with them. I'm going to show you how they actually blend. So we are going to start with So we're going to start and we're going to mix this shade right here, Magnolia, and then this shade right here, Daisy, together. The reason I'm mixing the two together is because one is matte and one's pretty shimmery, and I like the brightness of the Daisy shade, which is the shimmery one, but I don't want it to be too shimmery underneath the brow, so I'm going to go in and mix it with the Magnolia just to kind of tone down that shimmer. But the Magnolia on its own is just a little deeper than I want underneath my brow. And then I'm just going to kind of dust that right in the inner corner too. So next I'm going to go in with this shade Nylon right here, which is a pretty like orangey ochre shade, and I'm going to dust that in my crease back and forth. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of pull that down to the lash line just so it kind of connects. The next I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Sunkissed, and on camera it looks really gold, but there is quite a bit of pink to it too. It's kind of like a pinky gold. And I'm using the Sigma E25 brush. This is part of the Stephanie Marie brush set. They sell it individually, but it's also part of her set. And I think this is supposed to be for a blending crease brush, but I actually like to use it for the lid, and I just kind of pack the side of it up. And then I go in and press that onto the lid. The quality of these shadows, you guys, I'm so impressed. I feel like we don't hear too much about Sephora brand makeup. I never really see it used in a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm not sure why that is, but I really think these palettes are so nice. If you are looking at any of the really big, expensive palettes like the Natasha Denona palette or any of the other like really large eyeshadow palettes, I think this one is definitely worth looking at and adding to your list because it's priced pretty moderately. It's definitely not like the price of like a Makeup Revolution or a BH Cosmetics or Morphe palette, but I still think that it's a good value. I like this color because the more you build, the more of that peachy pink that you see. You can kind of sheer it out to where it looks just gold, but if you want to really see that peachy color to it, you can just pack it on and you'll get more of that color. So then we're left to about that. I'm going to go in the inner corner. I'm going to brighten that up a little bit, and I'm going to use that shade Daisy that we used underneath the brow. And for that, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Something about this size is what we're going to use. I'm just going to go in and just kind of press that right in the inner corner. Okay, so we're left with about this. I do want to deepen and intensify the outer V a little bit, so for that I'm going to use the same brush that I used for the inner corner. It's not really focusing, let me show you guys. So it's about this size, and I think we will go into, I think we're going to go in with this shade right here, this like cranberry frosty shade. It's called Camilla, and I'm going to just load this up on my brush, and then I'm going to create that V. Look how beautiful and pigmented that is, you guys. So I'm really just going to use this brush to place the color, and then I'm going to go back with a blending brush to soften it. So I'm just going to grab the Sigma tapered blending brush. This is the E40. You can certainly use any blending brush that you have, you guys. You don't really need more than, I would say, 3 brushes for your eye makeup. I know sometimes I grab maybe 4, 5, or 6, but it's just because I have them sitting out in front of me. They're certainly not like necessities. I think if you find a good basic shader brush, a good blending brush, and then a good detail brush, that's really all you need. So I don't have any product on this brush. I'm literally just softening out that color. And you can see how much color it has because as I soften it, you can see it really spreading, which tells you that there's a lot of pigment in these eyeshadows. Yeah, that has a lot of color. I actually got more color than I had planned, which is fine. I just got to kind of work with it a little bit more than I anticipated. Next, I'm going to go in and line my eyes, and for that, I'm using the Mironess eye pencil. It's the Forbidden Ink eyeliner, and I'm using this dark brown, really rich chocolate color. You can see how intense this is, you guys. It's such a soft eye pencil. It goes on really, really easily, so I'm just going to kind of line the outer part of my upper lash line with this. And I am slightly going to just kind of flip the outer line out a tiny bit. Because this is more of a kohl pencil, I'm not really trying to create a really like defined cat eye, but I do want to lift my eye a little bit by pulling that liner out. So I'm just going to kind of pull it up a little bit, just like so. And then I'm going to go back with a detail brush to intensify this line a little bit and also to kind of soften it a tiny bit. And the shade of this liner is the shade Passion. Okay, so next I'm going to just smoke that liner out a tad bit, and I'm using this shade in the palette. It's called Hickory. You can see that it's a really dark reddish brown. And I'm using a 219 brush by MAC. This is just like basically your detail pencil brush. And I'm really just loading the tip of that up, and I'm just going to kind of smudge out that line. And while I was doing my eye makeup, I noticed that my brows needed to be put in place, so I'm using Demirness Brow Gel. So I'm just kind of combing through my brows to keep those brow hairs in place. I don't have a whole lot of brow hair, but the brow hair I do have likes to grow down. I am going to run a little bit of mascara through my lash extensions just because I had so much eyeshadow fallout, and for that I am using the Demirness mascara. It's the Secret Weapon 24-Hour Mascara. Run this through. So for my inner rim, I'm using the shade Addiction by Demirness in that same eyeliner formula that I used on top. It's a really bright, like yellowy eyeliner. And then we're going to line the lower lash line. I'm using that same shade Passion that I first lined with that chocolate brown. And we're just going to create a nice clean outer half line there. We are going to smoke this out with shadows, so you don't have to worry about it being too perfect. And I'm using that darkest shade that was the last shade I used on the upper lid, that shade Hickory, that was that really dark reddish brown. That's what we're going with now. I really like this palette, you guys. It is a great, great palette. Perfect. I'm going to pop a little more mascara on my lower lashes. To line my lips, I'm going to use the Demirness lip liner, and I like these lip liners a lot because they're dual-ended. They have one shade on one side that's slightly darker, and then they have a shade on the other side that's lighter. So they make really great for like contouring your lips. I'm going to show you. So this one right here is the shade Crazy Cocoa, which is so funny because you hear that and you think brown, but these are the two colors you get. So you get like this really nude peachy pink, and then you get this rosy pink here. So we're going to use this one. We're going to line the lips with the darker shade. Then I'm going to kind of go over that and slightly fill in my lips with a lighter shade. And last, we're going to use the two-tone lipstick by Demirness, and I'm using the shade Fate. So these lipsticks are really cute. They come in this really, I think the packaging is really nice and sleek. And then this is how you get the lipstick to come out of the tube. And you can see that it's two colors. So you get a lighter and a darker color. So that really does help the lip create more of a contoured, full-looking lip. So that lightness is going to hit the center of your lip, and the darkness is going to be around the outer part of your lip. I find these lipsticks to be extremely moisturizing. They feel so nice on the lips. I mean, they literally feel like a lip treatment. They feel so, so good. They are buildable, so you can get a fair amount of color from them, but you can also get a nice sheer application if you're going for that. But they truly are buildable in that sense. Like sometimes you get sheer lipsticks and they're really sheer and it's almost impossible to get color. I feel like these are a really good versatile lipstick where you can get something really natural and light, but you can build it up and get quite a bit of color if that's what you are going for. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to add any gloss to this look. And that wraps up this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will have everything linked down below. In summary, you guys, I am really loving this eyeshadow palette. If you have walked through Sephora and passed these palettes and wondered if the quality is there, I can assure you, you will be impressed. I am really, really loving it. I love the way that this eye look came out. I'm so happy. Yeah, everything will be linked down below for you. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!